Beer with Alton. Beer with Alton.
Hey everybody, welcome to Beer with Alton. Today I am here with Gary Hernandez. Now, Gary and I have known each other for, it's over 30 years, Gary.
Easily.
It's over 30 years.
Easily.
I don't know if, do you remember when we first met?
I want to say I don't remember when we first met, but I know when we became friends.
Okay.
Is in senior year civics class.
Yes, that's when I would say yeah, Gary's my friend. But the first time I met you was in freshman football.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. This is true. I remember that.
This may be very hard for some of you to believe, but I played football at one. Well, actually, that's a stretch. I didn't play football. I was on the football team.
Well, I don't know if I played either back then. And I always talk, tall tale. So, I was a great football player.
Yeah, I was
in my head.
I was 4'11" when I started high school.
He was tiny. I do remember that. I do remember that.
And my dad thought it was a good idea for me to play football. It was not. But at any rate, here we are.
That's awesome.
I live to tell. So, Gary, tell the people a little bit about yourself. What are you doing these days?
Name's Gary Hernandez. I'm a government slave by day, and by night I'm a podcaster. Do a lot of different things, been on a lot of different podcasting shows, just dabbling, having fun with it. And then Alton said, hey, come on, share your story, let's go drink a beer.
So you guys should check out Gary's podcast. It's called Fat Guy Problems. I was listening to it this morning. It's funny. It's just sort of, stream of thought stuff that Gary's thinking about. And if you like listening to interesting people, check it out.
So during the pandemic, I needed something to do and got into therapy.
Uh-huh.
My therapist said, you need to get creative. You need to be,
Okay.
So that's where the podcasting started.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you want to help Gary's therapy, please
Exactly.
show up. All right. So we're here to drink beer today. This is what we're going to do. We're drinking something called Agua del Rio. Let's go beer cam so you guys see this. Agua del Rio. This is by the Santa Ana River Brewing Company. These guys are in Big Shock, Santa Ana. A couple of guys started this brewery to basically make really hoppy beers. That's their passion.
Yeah.
This is not one of those. This is a Mexican-style lager, which you probably guessed from the name, Agua del Rio. I know you guys have been hearing me say this. I think these lighter beers with true malt character are going to be the next big thing. Maybe it's why these guys are trying this stuff right now, too. So, let's go.
How'd you know this? Because I'm a lager guy, and and it's kind of right up my alley.
Yeah, right now, I don't know. The hops thing, I think, has kind of been overdone in California. It's still going to be here for a long, long time. But I think less hoppy beers are going to become more popular again, although they've kind of fallen out of fashion.
Yeah.
So we're going to try one right now. Let's do it. You like Mexican lager typically? Like Modelo's or...
I do like Modelo's, but I've kind of ventured off into a darker beer.
Yeah.
You know what I've learned is the more I drink coffee, the darker my beer gets. But Modelo lately has been the beer of choice. Obviously it's
when
cheap.
Summertime rolls around, cheap. But it's a good beer. I still like it. All right, so let's check it out. Color looks good. Gary, thanks for coming out, man.
Thank you for having me. Oh, I like that. It is light.
Yeah, what do you think? Outside of you like it, what's the...
It's got a nice aftertaste.
Yeah, malty.
I like that. Yeah, definitely malty. Not too malty, though.
No? There's a little hop character in here. I don't know what it is, but really clean. This beer is really clean.
I want to say it does taste Mexican-y.
Yeah.
Almost like a... what's that beer that you used to have in Mexico?
I don't know. Gosh.
Not Corona. There was another one years ago. Yeah. Tasted like that. Just like this. Very light, delicious, great summer day beer.
That's what I was just going to say. I think during the summer, something like this, or hey, 4th of July is right around the corner. It's actually on Monday, which is like 3 days from now. This would be perfect for me. I would drink a bunch of these.
This is a bunch of these type of beer.
These kinds of beer. Let's
yeah.
5% alcohol, which is not bad. You could drink a bunch of... a bunch. I could drink a bunch of these. I probably will.
So what made you get into beer?
You know, the short answer is I worked in a brewery when I lived in Boston.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I worked in a brewery. I mean, waiting tables, but I didn't know much about it. But there was a bunch of guys that were actively brewing beer, like right next to where all the tables were.
Sure.
And I don't know, it was this weird alchemy. These guys were like sorcerers, right? They kind
that.
of looked like firemen with like boots on and
I
stuff,
love
and they were
that.
like stirring boiling pots, and like it just was so intriguing that I wanted to try it.
I love that alchemy statement
Yeah.
about beer. I love that. That's real cool.
Well, here's the thing. It is kind of magic, right? They do
Yeah.
all this work, and then you'd end up with this golden elixir that, like, made me happy and warm. So,
And, you know, well, I've been drinking beer since I was 13. But,
don't do this at home.
yeah. But, you know, drinking beer, how can you go wrong?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's sort of like pizza in that regard. Okay, Gary, thanks for coming out. Everybody, if you like the show, please hit like, subscribe. We'd love to see you come back. And check out Gary's podcast. I'll put the info in the description.
Love you guys. Thank you all. Cheers again.